This is a new chapter, strings in C, but we can say it is an extension of previous chapter. That is a arrays in C, because strings in C is basically arrays in C, but it is a specialized array only because if you can recall in the last chapter, that is arrays in C, we declared, you might have observed, I declare an array of integers or array of float or array of double, but I never declared an array of characters. I don't know whether you notice this or not. The reason is that array of characters is treated differently, and there is a reason for that. The reason is that when you declare an array of integers, suppose array of 10 elements, then each element is an individual entity. Each element has got individual meaning, but it doesn't happen declare an array of characters. Likewise, suppose if I declare an array of characters and stored characters as JAVA, right? So J itself is only character, A itself is only character, V again like that, and A again like that. But when these four characters, when form a word is formed, this Java has got some meaning. That doesn't apply to array of integers or a float. Suppose array of integers of 5 elements is declared. The first element contains suppose 80 out of 100, second 85 out of 100, third 89 out of 100, fourth, and so on. Each of that element is having meaning that okay, this subject has got 85 marks, right? So collection is there, no issue. But the problem is that individual element has got some special meaning. Here it doesn't happen. When all characters are collected, then the final word has got some meaning. That is the reason strings in C are treated differently. So today we will discuss the array of characters. So what we are going to discuss? First of all, what is a string? Then there is a different term called string terminating character. How to take the input for a string, how to print the string, is there any special format specifier for printing the screen or inputting the string. Then obviously, as I told you in the pointer chapter, that pointer will reappear almost in each chapter. So here we will be dealing along with pointer and strings. And then standard library functions are there. C is basically not extremely rich in string manipulating functions. That is the reason this chapter is very important. As far as Java is concerned, Python is concerned, these languages have got very strong library, extensive library is there. That's why student directly can call the library function and get the work done. But the drawback of that language, as far as student is concerned, is that students, rather those students who uh, solve programs in C, are able to understand Python kind of language very easily. or even Java. Reason is that library is not extensive, so you have to do everything. For example, in Python there is one function like remove blank spaces around the string. One single statement is sufficient to remove all these things. Here we cannot do that. Like if you want to remove alternate characters, it is easy. Here we cannot do that. So you have to write code, you have to apply your logic and get the work done through string operations or through string manipulation. That is the reason I said that this is the topic. No? This is not one of the topic. This is not one of the chapter. This is the chapter I always look for because it is. I mean, programming is really fun when you write programs using strings. You have to apply your all everything while writing program. Obviously, there will be major section in our this chapter is that we will try to write our own functions the way user defined function works, right? And at the end there will be array of strings, so kind of a double dimensional array of characters. First of all, how string is defined. String is an array of characters. One part of the definition, string is an array of characters terminated by slash zero. That is very important. Terminated by null character, right? So if you define the string and do not put the slash zero, that is just collection of characters. String is a collection of characters terminated by slash zero. For example, this one, hello world. So we know that each character takes 1 byte of memory. So hello world will take how many bytes? 5 plus 5, 10 plus blank space, 11. And at the end, there will be 12, right? So in all, 12 bytes are required for storing this string. You can see at the end there is a string terminating character, which is a combination of two characters slash, that is a backslash, and zero. So that is a string terminating character. String terminating character slash zero has got ASCII value as zero, and zero, only zero, has got ASCII value as 48. Don't get confused between slash zero and zero. Slash zero, that is the string terminating character, has got ASCII value as zero, whereas zero as a digit has got ASCII value as 48. So bit pattern of slash zero will be 8 zeros. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Right? All zeros in 1 byte. Whereas 0 as a digit will have bit pattern of 48. What is the bit pattern of 48? Uh, 48. Yeah. So 48 decimal number, it has got pattern as this. 1 1 0 0 and 0 0, right? Because it is 0 0 1 2 3 4. So 2 raised to 4 is 16 and 2 raised to 5 is 32. 32 plus 16, that is 48, right? So 1 1 0 0 0 0. That is a bit better. Here it is there, right? It's a binary representation of 48. This is octal representation. This is a hex representation, right? Now, uh, why this is done? Because when you declare an array, you can write, since each of that element is a individual and it has got meaning. When you declare an array of characters, it's very difficult to manipulate this. I will write the program and then you will come to know what is how the string is different than the array of integers or characters. So I hope you can see this. I'll write array of characters. Right? I'll save this first. So suppose I want to store declare. Let's declare one simple array, right? So I will declare initialize it. So each of these element is individual, right? Is the individual thing. Suppose I declare a character array, right? Suppose I character array char city, right? And if I want to store name of the city, so how I will have to initialize that? I have to write like this. See the pains how much we have to know write while writing the code. I mean, just imagine. So you have to initialize string like this. It is not easy. For each character, there have to be a pair of single quote because character has to be written like that. Now, this individual doesn't have meaning. No, but this whole has got is basically a name of the city. That is what I am talking about. So basically, this is just collection of this is just collection of characters. In a true sense, this is not an array. This is not a string rather. Okay, this is collection of characters. Right? But still, we can know uh, do um, we can access those elements. So if I write uh, int I or I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to 4 I plus plus, can write printf scene 3D, right? And I can say num of I. And I write here I will have to repeat this. For I is equal to 0, I is equal to 4, and 0. Right? So if I compile the program, the complete array will be printed, integer array, as well as make mistake. Okay, by I have to make changes here, right? So it will print uh, integer array, 5 elements, and it will print CT name. But this is not the way we can know program. We cannot. This is the way we cannot write programs because how? I mean, this is logical first of all. That's why Dennis Ritchie gave a wonderful solution on this. So what solution he gave is that because this is, you know, there are only 6 characters. What if characters are no multiple in 50s, hundreds, 150 characters is there. Okay, because if you can see, can you immediately tell me how many characters are there? No, not possible. Not possible. So what is a string? String is an array of characters terminated by slash zero as they have put. So if this has to be made as a string, then I will have to write it like this. Right? Now in this case, at least no, we can we can write loop like this. I'll remove this now. Now we will concentrate only on the character array. So I'll remove this. So no need to write here. Okay. At least I can say I will initialize it to 0. Right. I can write while ct of I not equal to slash 0. I can write printf percent c ct of I and I plus plus. Right? This is much better than the earlier case. At least you don't need to remember, no, count that, then whether it is less than less than or equal to 4, less than or equal to 5, because that zero indexing always creates, I mean, confusion in our mind. Okay, and this confusion is not limited to C language. In all programming languages, indexing starts from 0, right? But at least because of that, this is much easier than the earlier case. Okay, one step ahead. So if we run the code, this is much better, right? Simplified version of earlier one, right? Now, what Dennis Ritchie did is that instead of this, he proposed string to be written in double quotes. Intentionally, in the first quiz, I had given you this thing. Which of these is not a valid character constant? And there was one option as uh, I think W was there. I don't remember now, but W was in a pair of double quotes. Got that? So this is basically a string. Okay? Now I can say this is a string in C. So this is fantastic, right? This is absolutely good. Now, question is how to access this. What I will do, since this is a string, I will declare one character pointer, right? And I will write ptr is equal to ct. Why? Because pt because ct is name of a name of an array which contains base address. We know that, right? So what I can write here now? While, don't need to write this, just write while star ptr not equal to slash 0 star ptr and ptr plus plus. This is again much better than the earlier one. Okay, this much is at least is reduced, right? This is as much reduced. Okay, much better. So if you run this code, it gives the same output. Okay. I hope this is, I think, on the basis of that pointer and array, I think this is quite reasonable and you have understood this. Should I explain this? I have declared one character pointer and I have written this statement ptr is equal to ct. That means ptr will point to character m, first element, right? It will point to the first element of a string. While star ptr not equal to slash 0, now the question is in your mind might be where is the slash 0? Am I right? That might be the question. This is a magic. So slash 0 string terminating character is provided by compiler automatically, right? So compiler did his own job cleverly so that you don't need to worry. Compiler put that slash 0, that's it. So here slash 0 is there. Here it is inserted, it is provided by the compiler, right? That is a wonderful facility, you can say, by the compiler. See, string in C is the basic programming, basic versions of coding. This everything is implemented in all programming languages in the same fashion, right? Only the difference is that in other all programming languages, it is everything is written inside the library. Here we have to write everything. Okay, so what you do in Java in one single statement, what you do rather three statement, what you do in Python, one single statement. In C language, you have to write five statements. That is the difference, right? Single programs, single line in Python, three or five lines in Java, and 7 to 8 lines in C. Same, same output. Now, next version of the code, same code. Because if you are learning, going to learn Python, or if you are learning Python, then it has to learn from this uh, basic programming language like C or C++. Then you will understand those languages in a better way. Absolutely, no, just like going inside the machine and understanding those languages. No, this is also a uh, very no, writing this kind of thing. So there is a way. There is a way. Just write printf and write percent %s as a format specifier for string and give the name as cp. That's it. This is the benefit over array of integers and array of real numbers. Here you just send name of an array. That's it. It will print the complete string. Format percent %s is the format specifier for printing the string. Now, suppose we want to take input, right? So how to take the input? So I write uh, printf enter name of your city, right? I'll write scanf. Now percent s format specifier for string because format specifier printing and scanning for all integer it is the same, no? For printf same, for scanf same. So percentage is format specifier for string, right? Now the question here is what is to be written here, right? Because since it is a string, and since in case of array, you need to write that full array for loop, then at each memory, each element location, you need to pass address of that location if you can recall and store this. But string, this whole string is a one constant. Then just write C. That's it. Right? So if I compile this program, enter name of your city, right? If I write suppose Kolhapur, it will print Kolhapur. That's it. So see from which program we have reached up to this program, right? Now Next question is, when we initialize that, okay, agreed, compiler provides a slash zero or a terminating character. But when I run this code, okay, when I run this code, how the compiler knows that? So here, the magic is that when you press the enter key, it understands that string has finished. So the moment you hit the enter key, at that location, compiler inserts slash zero. That's it. Right? Compiler enters slash zero. So that is the reason when this printf statement is executed, okay, the difference between earlier printf scanf and this printf scanf first time in the first time in our course, there is a difference is that first time we are not sending address of a variable to the scanf function. First time. In all earlier cases, we were sending address of the variable. Here we are not sending address of the variable. What is the reason? The reason is that CT itself, the name of the array, the name of the string rather, CT itself contains the base address. Right? So that is what scanf needs. That is what scanf is required. So what the scanf function does is that when you enter the when you enter the string, suppose I in Kolhapur, when I hit the enter key, this is stored. Where it is stored? It is stored at the address contained in CT. Right? At the address contained in CT. So if I want to show you how to, suppose this is a our array of what? CT. Internally, I told you in the last chapter, if you can recall, when you declare an array, be it array of characters, compiler creates its own pointer. So this is the internal pointer created by the compiler, okay, which contains the base address, right? So suppose this is the address, right? Same is here. Since the same is here, this points to this location, right? But this is a constant pointer. I have told you, right? Okay, this is a constant pointer. That means this cannot be changed now. This cannot be changed. But when you enter the string Lahore, right? What happens inside the machine? Inside the machine, you are given argument as CT to the scanf function. If you can just no, you have to correlate this PPT along with that source code. So CT is sent as not ampersand CT. CT has been sent as argument to the scanf function. So this Kolhapur will be stored at what address, at which address, what is written inside CP. What is written inside CP 56428. So compiler goes at that location. So it comes here. Now it starts storing that. So it will store K here. Since each character takes 1 byte of memory, O, L, H, A, P, U, R. Is it finished? Nothing is there? Put /0. Right? Since compiler makes a provision for us, the next time whenever you do anything along with that string, okay, always it will go. So when next statement is what? Next statement is printf percentage. Again, CT is sent there, right? As an argument, right? So CT sent. So printf function searches for that city. Now what does city contains? Base address. So it goes here, right? What is that base address? At that address, what is the character K? So it prints K, then O, then L. Up to what? /0. That's it. So as simple as it is. Very simple. They have made even /0 has made the miracle everywhere, right? So there are these are string input and output functions. Printf and scanf we have already used. There is some limitation. Enter name of your suppose state, right? No, I will not change the name of the array, okay, for time being. I have to first of all save this program because I cannot make all changes here. Some of the students want these source codes. I can understand that. Hmm. No, I can change that. Enter name of your state, right? Now suppose I run this code. Suppose I write Uttar Pradesh. It doesn't give you. Okay, it just gives you Uttar. So what is the reason? The reason is that scanf cannot take multi-word string. That is the limitation of scanf function. Right? It won't restrict you. It won't stop you. This is not a kind of a problem of uh, array bound check or nothing. Nothing like that. It is just limitation of scanf function is that it cannot take. That's it. Right? So there is a function. There is a function called getS. I will teach you this. This function these days is not used. I mean, the last 3, 4 years, 5 years, I think. Don't remember exactly. This function is not advised. Okay, but for academic purpose, I don't find any problem. Okay, in the industry, it is considered as a. If there is a one term in industry, or even programming language, deprecated. So this function they say that is deprecated. That means in plain English we can say it is now obsolete. It is obsolete. It is old. It is old fashioned. Right? Should not be used. So lot of things are there. For time being, we will go along with the gateways. Another version which is used in the industry, I will tell you at the right time, right? Because this is not the right time. So there is a function called gateways. I don't know whether you have to include string. I will include that so that no can access that function from the library. Get s and send the name of the string. Right? Let's see whether it works. I haven't tried this function for so long. So if I write, it takes. Right? So get s is a special function for string input. That is the reason. See the name of the function get s, right? Get string. Hmm? So get s takes multi-word string. As far as honestly I am concerned, I have never faced any problem along with the get s function. But I don't know. In last 5 or 10 years, perhaps industry has rejected. Rather, industry says that this not should not be, this must not be used. I'm not of the same opinion because personally I never face any problem issues along with this thing, this function as such. But since you are in now young people about to start working in the industry, so no, if you use gateways in your college, no problem. But suppose when you going to the industry, you talk about gateways, so you will say, "You are really old-fashioned." Are you? Don't you know that gateways is no more? Gateways is not the function which is used no more. So it should not happen along with you. Okay, so I will at the right time I will tell you alternative which is used in the industry. For time being, uh, when you are going to solve the programs, when you are going to uh, write programs for the assignment, whenever you are going to practice, okay, without any hassle, without any problem, go ahead along with the gateways. There is no problem, right? Okay. Now another version of another counterpart of gateways is putes, right? So put string, right? Gateways state, putes state, put string, get string, right? So if I write Uttar Pradesh, it will print Uttar Pradesh. So putes actually inserts new line. What I mean, if I write another putes here, two times intentionally I have shown you. Program doesn't have meaning. You will find that no, whichever city state you have entered, right? The slash in is entered by the putes function, right? So it doesn't just print the string on the console or a monitor, but at the same time insert slash n, new line character, or it is also called as a line feed character, right? So if I enter suppose Madhya Pradesh, so you see Madhya Pradesh on two separate lines, right? See, basically this is also a string. Why? Because it is in the double quote, right? So if I write suppose something like char user message, right? Something like 50, huh? And I write here not necessarily this as well. You won't find this anywhere, but I am showing you. So what should be printed? That's it. Printed user message. Because this is string, no? So I have stored string in one character array and pass that. That is okay. That is no problem. Sometimes those who do not learn C in a proper way, they will get disturbed completely. Oh, printf. Nobody has taught me function can be written like this. Actually, nothing new over there. Okay, nothing is new. But if you have understood the basics of no all chapters, then this can be done. What is harm in that? It's absolutely okay. So that is how string works. Hmm? Then let me see what is remaining from this. String terminating character I have discussed, string input I have shown you, string output I have shown you, format specifier I have shown you, pointer and strings are remaining. That we will one program I showed you using the pointer, right? And standard library functions we are going to see. Uh, Pointer and a string we won't discuss separately because there is nothing to discuss separately. I wrote one program using pointer uh, while teaching you the accessing the string. Directly we will see string handling functions, right? One or two functions I will show you, and then we are going to write our own functions, which will perform the same operation as string functions, library functions, right? So, what is this? There is a strlen function, which is a library function. Okay, in Python there is a just len function, but len function itself has been written in C language. Okay, and it is called internally, but that is exhaustive. And how it is written that you can understand only when you learn C as well as C++, rather object-oriented programming language at that time, not just limited to C language. That len function of Python has been written using coding power of C language and object-oriented programming methodology of C++. It's a combination of that. So strlen is a function uh, to find the length of the string. Okay. Then strcmp. So obviously strlen takes one argument that is a string. Strcmp is used to compare two strings. Okay, and it will tell whether both strings are same or different. Strcpy is the library function to copy one string to another string. strlwr, some of the function I have mentioned here. strlwr to convert string to lowercase. strupr is to convert into uppercase. And strcat to concatenate or glue together two strings. So some of them I have mentioned here. Find the length of the string. Right? Int main. I will declare one array. I can declare char suppose message, right? I'll give message all is well that ends well. All is well, that ends well. So message is there. Is that message name proper? No, I changed. It's a quote. Right? Care quote. One quote is there. Now I want to find the length of the string, number of characters in the string. So int number of characters, right? NOC, right? So I'll write NOC is equal to strlen, right? And pass the string to that function. If I write here printf number of characters in the quote equal to, or you can say just you can say length of the string. That's it. Length of the quote percent d slash n and NOC. See, all these string manipulating functions are required when you write a program because a lot of things are there. Always, when you write application, you will need everything from the each chapter of C language. Perhaps it will give an error because I have not included anything here. I will include string.h because it won't perhaps recognize this strlen, right? So yeah, length of the quote is 26. It gave you directly because we have initialized that. Length of the quote is 26. Now let's check whether it is 26. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Now, what conclusion you can make? While finding the length of the string, it doesn't take into account slash zero. Slash zero is there, but it doesn't take into account. That is very important. Otherwise, somebody will teach you 26 or 27, and you will be confused. Right? I told you the threat. So it is 26. Right? Now, can we read? Can we write our own function? Let's try that. Right? So I'll say int number. In the same program we will write. Right? So what should be the prototype of that? It should print integer, that is number of characters. So int, right? Then I will write string length, right? What does it take? It takes character input of a string, okay? Because you are sending string, right? So it is char star. This is a prototype. So call the function here. So write here other variable number is equal to string length, right? What you will send? Will you send again quote? Yeah, we'll say the same thing, right? Our program, our own code also should give same output, right? Number, So now int string length can function is receiving string, so it has to be collected in a pointer variable. Character pointer obviously because string is coming from other end. And you can declare a simple variable like int suppose counter is equal to 0 and simple loop like while star ptr not equal to slash 0 because slash 0 we have got that perfect weapon in our hand. So take the help of that slash 0 and do anything whatever you want. So I will write while slash star ptr not equal to slash 0 do what counter counter plus plus and what ptr plus plus. That's it. And here what a return counter. Right? So if I compile this code, both outputs should give same length of counter, length of the. Okay, I will give some message here. Enter user defined function, right? Because we are writing our own function. We library function. Right? Obviously, user defined function must have some different name, right? You cannot use the name of the user defined function as stralien because it will be, it will conflict along with that. It won't allow you. So got that? It's the same thing. Library function length of the code is 26. User defined function length of the code is 26. That's it. So this is how the function might have been written inside the library. Just a matter of curiosity. Let's see whether it is there. Whether that string.h is there. We will try to open this file. Huh? A lot of string functions are there. See here, size t. I'm going to talk about size t. Okay, that is a new data type. Okay, size t is a new data type. It is basically unsigned int. Size t is basically unsigned int. It is good programming practice. I will teach you at the right moment. This is the name of the function, right? This is how they have declared it. Const char star. Yesterday, last lecture, I talked a lot on const modifier, right? And this is size t is basically unsigned int because length cannot be negative, right? That's why they have given this. And this is the name of the compiler, Ming DJW. I opened that Ming W, no? Ming W compiler, I opened that. And this is a calling convention I told you. This I do not know. This also something they have added. Ming W attributor. See, each of this compiler has got its own style, right? So we can also do this. This is a good programming practice. Const char star. Right? Got this? So this is the perfect definition of length. Hmm? So I will save this. Yeah, it is saved. We will stop here and I will open the session for question and answers.